Welcome to Harrison Hacks.
Hey guys, welcome back to Harrison Hacks. Today I'm showing you a pre-release of RetroArch running on the PlayStation Classic Edition. So I'm using a PlayStation 3 controller plugged in through USB. I don't know if you can catch that there. But I did try it with an 8-bit retro receiver. I don't have the USB one, but I plugged in my NES Classic one through USB. I got them to pair, but I couldn't get the controller to work. So I think it's just the power limitation on the front USB ports. But it does work through USB right now. So this is a pre-release, it's early, but let's go ahead and do some testing on some N64 as well as SNES, and I'll do a PVP file for PlayStation. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm going to load core, and I'm going to go to Mame. Mame 64 plus. Then I'll load content, and I have everything on my USB drive. Everything's running from USB. So I've got some ROMs here, N64. So let's start with an easy one to emulate, and that's Mario Kart 64. And see how this pans out. Sorry for the shoddy video quality, but this is the best way that I could get this rocking. And this is actually the first video I get to test run my Blue Yeti, so pretty excited to see how this all works out. So I'll do one player game, and let's go to 150cc, go as fast as we can to see how the emulation is running. In the menu you can see I've got 19.5 frames per second, and it kind of jumps up and down, but I'm more worried about gameplay. So hopefully the screen looks okay for you guys there. Now I tried to use my PlayStation Classic. I'm using my left thumbstick, and I tried to use my PlayStation Classic controller, but it wouldn't work. I couldn't turn my guy because the D-pad wasn't working for that. So I'm using the left analog stick, and I got a solid 30. And I have tested this prior to recording, and it runs great. So can't wait to see what else they come up with. So I'm going to press start and select, close content. And I'll load SNES 9X 2005. Go down to my USB folder, which is my media, ROMs, SNES, and let's give Castlevania Dracula X. Let's give it a go. Sorry, I'm just fighting a bit of a cold. So again, I have tested this prior to recording, and I can tell you that you're going to get a solid 60. And in a future video, I do want to show you bezels, show you how that all works and things like that. But this is a pre-release, so anyone looking for a download, they're saying it's going to be released to the public in the new year, and I would recommend waiting. Excuse me. But this game seems to run perfectly fine. I don't see any issues. Seems to run great for me. So I'm not going to be playing the greatest because I'm just kind of doing some test run here, and I don't want this video to carry on too long. Let's load a core. Let's try the PCSX. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really battling this cold. PCSX rearmed lib retro. Load content. I just wanted to get this out there for you guys to check this out. PlayStation, and I'm going to use a PVP file. So doom.pvp. And there we go. So I'll do a quick little test run with this game as well. And one thing I've noticed, and I want to show you guys here, so we'll get into some gameplay. I'm going to go to I'm a Wimp. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Now if I go to the options menu, come on down, there's the enhanced resolution speed hack, and I have that on so it looks nicer. So if I turn it off, then it still looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go turn it back on. And it looks fairly similar. To me, it looks a slightly better, but it's not something where I'm like, you know, overly impressed, but it still looks good. And RetroArch has so many options. They're just great to have. But a solid 60 frames a second. I've dropped down to, I think, 59 point something at one point. But, you know, nothing that's going to make or break gameplay. So, pretty sweet. So I'm going to close the content here. And let's try an arcade game. So I'll go to Mame 2003. Load that core. Load content. And let's try WrestleFest. I'm hoping I have the right ROM for this core. If not, I'll go ahead and choose a different ROM. Oh, there we go. So I'm pressing select. My coins are going in. So let's see what we got. So pretty sweet, solid 60. I'm liking this. Alright, so we have an arcade game running. We've done SNES. Let's close the content. And there's more systems that I can test, but I'm telling you, the N64, I guess the one I want to get into the most is let's do Goldeneye. Let's see how Goldeneye runs. So I'm going to load core. Now we do have the Mupin 64 Plus as well as parallel N64. So we've got two different options. So let's try Mupin 64 Plus. Load content. Media. ROMs. N64. And let's test some Goldeneye. Because I think that running this game on the PlayStation Classic is going to set this apart from, well, obviously the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi does not run this game very well. This game will not run at 60 frames per second. It just doesn't. Even on the original hardware, it will not run at 60 frames a second. So, select mission, the dam. I'll just be an agent and start the game. Now I have a RetroLink N64 USB controller. I have not tested on the system yet. I'm going to do a video on retesting USB controllers. I did do a testing prior to the hack, just on the stock PlayStation Classic. And I want to do an updated version to see how many I can get running on here now that RetroArch's installed. So the intro got us 11 frames per second, not great. And I'm not too good at this game. I like playing two-player where we kill each other. There we go. So a solid 23.8 so far. I gotta be a little easier on my joystick. Seems to be a little sensitive. 29 frames. And I'm pretty sure this game was meant to run at 30, so... Uh-oh. You're gonna die. Alright. And we'll get out the sniper rifle. But this is very playable, to be quite honest with you. Switch guns here. See how good I can aim without taking an hour. Got him. Come on. Uh-oh, this guy's gonna come get me, so I'll just wait here for him. Come on up the stairs, bud. Got him. But yeah, I mean, this runs really great. I don't see too many graphical glitches or anything that's major. The game's running fine. There's 36 frames per second. Now with nothing on screen. So let's go over here and see if we get any huge dips. I'm okay with being in the mid to high 20s. It just seems to be how it ran originally, to be quite honest with you. I don't think it ran at a solid 30 on the original hardware. So a bit of a drop down to 19 frames per second with all this stuff. But still really playable, much better than the Pi. And I'm not knocking the Pi. The Pi is great in its own right. But the fact that this is running on an early version on the PlayStation Classic is pretty impressive to me. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Remember, this is a pre-release, so wait for the new year. You're going to get the public release, and everything's going to be so much easier, whether it be Bleem Sync, RetroArch, all that good stuff. So as usual, thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, have a good day.